Pluto, the mysterious dark lord who brings up all your shadows, forces you to look at it head on, face your fears, and transmute it into personal power. If Pluto is big in your chart and you feel a close connection to Pluto and everything it represents, then you need to pay attention to its position in your chart. Pluto in the natal chart represents the generational vibration that you have come into this life with. Pluto works with the unconscious. Okay, we're not aware of this. Sometimes we can read about it and our soul will resonate with some of the things and we'll be like, for some reason this feels familiar. I don't know why, I don't understand it, but something resonates here. And it's because Pluto deals with the unconscious, with things from past lives that we usually don't remember. Where we left off in the previous life is where we pick up here with Pluto. And more significant than which sign Pluto is in is the house placement and aspects to other planets and points. This is what's really going to tell you what Pluto is trying to unveil to you. So a lot of what I'm going to be talking about here is from this book, Pluto, The Evolutionary Journey of the Soul by Jeffrey Wolf Green. It's an amazing book I highly recommend. So if you have a Sun-Pluto aspect in your birth chart, it puts an emphasis on creatively developing a special purpose in your life. You have to develop the willpower to create your life the way you want it. Create your destiny. There's a reason why you feel this calling to do something great, because you're supposed to make it a reality. You're supposed to create that reality for yourself. And for this process to be a positive one, it's important to link your purpose to a societal need, to a collective need, something that can benefit the world at large. It has to be a purpose that is going to advance the world, that's going to help raise the consciousness of the planet, that's going to help others evolve. It can't be something negative or selfish or that's not a soul calling. And another really important part of the Pluto Sun aspect, it entails a cyclic metamorphosis of your creativity and your purpose in life. Meaning different layers of your purpose and creative process are revealed to you in cyclic patterns throughout your life. So this could be every 5 years, every time Pluto makes a transit over one of your planets or aspecting one of your planets. It could be that for the first 30 years of your life, you're shown relatively a small amount of your purpose. And so you go through the first 30 years only having one piece of the puzzle, being kind of lost and confused. And then finally, when you turn 30, Pluto reveals to you half the puzzle or more. And then you're like, oh, wow, well, this makes sense. Now I see. So it really depends, but it is a set cyclical pattern that must unfold on its own. You really have no control over it. Only until you become conscious of the patterns by looking backwards and being like, oh, look at this happened and this happened, I see the pattern now. So you become more at ease with your purpose, with your plan, because you know that it'll be revealed to you when the time is right. You learn to trust. And these parts of your purpose and creativity have to be revealed at certain stages. That's just the way it is with Pluto. And the lessons here also have to do with the limits of your power. Pluto is aspecting your sun because you most likely abused your power in past lives. Here, you're here to learn the limits of your power. What is misusing it? What is using it for good? And you may have been learning this lesson for many lifetimes already, or it could be a new one depending on the aspects, the degree to Pluto and your sun. So the key is to learn they have this limitation, but to still create their purpose, their reality within the limits of what Pluto is allowing. With this aspect, you most likely had a parent who dominated your sense of individuality, was over controlling in that way where you weren't able to blossom into your own individual person. And that was a lesson for you to learn later in life, to assert your own will, to become your own individual self, and to actualize your purpose and your creative efforts. So at some point you leave the parent behind and you start to form your own individuality, or your parent starts to change and become aware of their mistakes and actually encourage you and help you in your path of creating a sense of self, or both can happen. The point is, eventually you'll realize life is what you make of it, and it takes your creative efforts to actualize your dreams, your purpose, your reality. In general, Pluto aspecting the Sun indicates you have a very special purpose here, something special to create or to do in this life. And it could lead to relative fame, recognition of your purpose in this lifetime. So if your Sun-Pluto aspect is a difficult one, say a square, inconjunct, it generally means that you'll have more challenges, more things to overcome, more hurdles to overcome, more obstacles to get through in order to actualize your creative efforts into a special life purpose. It might be a little bit more difficult for you, and depending on the houses and the other aspects, you can really pinpoint where exactly you need to put more effort into in order to actualize your reality, become your most aligned individual self, actualize your efforts, and fulfill your special life purpose. And if you have harmonious aspects like the sextile, the trine, this creates more of a harmonious flow in the way that you realize all of this, how you need to assert your own will to create your purpose and put in your creative efforts in order to actualize this. The flow of events is a lot smoother. Yes, you still have challenges because Pluto is involved, but the metamorphosis, the transformation, comes with relative ease, goes more smoothly. It's just not as challenging as, say, the square would be or the other difficult aspects. The aspect you have now also indicates how far you've come. If you have a square or a difficult aspect, it's about you're still quite in the thick of it when it comes to learning these lessons, learning limitations of your power. So it's still very challenging for you. And now if you have a harmonious aspect, such as the trine or sextile, you're at the tail end or at the last lifetime of these specific lessons. You have worked through your stuff. You have worked through this continuously, meticulously, and now it's of relative ease to finish it off. Now, when it comes to the conjunction or the opposition, I don't necessarily think these are negative or positive. They're kind of neutral. It kind of depends on a lot of other factors. With these, it could be either way, depending on how the rest of your birth chart looks. But in general, this one is all about becoming one with metamorphosis, becoming a counterpart of transformation, of death and rebirth, of going through cyclic patterns of identity, of purpose, of creativity, not fighting any of this, and realizing that transformation is just your path to greatness and embracing that.